Hi everybody, this is Leah Martin from Running Remote. This is a bit of an emergency video. I didn't think that I would actually be making a video like this, but as I've seen over the last week, Ukraine's been invaded by Russia, and really the entire world has been upended by this. It's really something that I never would have recognized, and we have team members in Ukraine. Not only that, at the Running Remote community, I've spoken to dozens of business owners that have people in Ukraine. So what I did over the last couple days is collect all of the best practices that they're using to be able to support their team members in Ukraine and other countries as well that have been affected by this conflict. And what I'm gonna do is give you that information right now. So the first thing that it looks like everyone is currently doing is they're extending 3 months of pay to their Ukrainian team members. And they're also thinking about doing this for their Russian team members as well. Obviously, the banks have had some serious impact over the last couple days. We don't know with regards to the SWIFT system whether or not we'll even be able to wire money into Russian individual team members' accounts, employees' accounts that are working inside of Russia. And obviously right now in Ukraine, it's really, really difficult. So what we're suggesting is that you extend salaries in Ukraine 1 to 3 months. And we also suggest that you either pay those people in US dollars so that there's no impact on inflation, or you actually pay them in crypto. Those two methods are probably the most effective for people to be able to keep that money on them so that they can move at a moment's notice, and they can also move that money across borders relatively easily. For Ukrainian team members, we're telling them that they don't actually have to work, but we want them to give us any important information that's critical over the next few months so that any other team members can pick up the slack on basically what they're dropping off. We're also paying them during this time, so it's important to be able to make sure that you're still paying those team members. They really depend on that cash in this stressful, obviously incredibly stressful time. So important to be able to keep that money moving, but also don't have any requirements on them for actually showing up to work. It looks like the internet is currently working through the vast majority of Ukraine as it stands right now, which is amazing, and electricity is on as well, but that situation can change at any point. So it's really important to be able to still pay those team members, at least in the short term, and then also really have them communicate any information that they would need to other team members so that there's nothing being left off. Again, inside of asynchronous remote teams, you should have your processes in place so that this can happen very, very easily. But if you have not done any of those types of things, please check out some videos up top here where we talk about asynchronous communication and process documentation so that you can get those systems in place. This is actually a perfect time to be able to review all of those procedures and protocols. Next thing is offering everyone in Ukraine and Russia actually a 1,000 to 3,000 euro relocation budget to get out of their respective countries. Currently right now in Ukraine, you can't actually leave if you're male between the ages of 18 to 60. A lot of Russian individual team members that we've seen inside of the Running Remote community are actually moving to places like Georgia, as an example. Again, it's really up to those individual team members, but I think that you should actually be encouraging them to get out as quickly as humanly possible. We've actually personally already gotten out quite a few people out of Ukraine, which has been a godsend, but there still are some people that are inside of Ukraine. So really important to be able to work on that. Next up is helping them with visa applications and relocations. So this is going to be a lot easier for Ukrainians than necessarily Russians, but it's important to be able to say, like, even though you've got two sides to this conflict, there are a lot of companies that have team members in both countries. So it's important to be able to kind of recognize that a lot of these people are just kind of caught in the middle. So relocating Ukrainians, there are a lot of places that are accepting Ukrainian refugees at this point, and I suggest that you check those out. If you simply just Google it, you'll be able to get access to a bunch of countries that are accepting Ukrainians. With regards to Russians, again, it's a little bit more difficult, but something that you should also look at doing as well. Next thing is mental health services. There's a fantastic service that we've used before called BetterHelp. That is a virtual platform. You can make that available to all of your team members in a conflict zone. I know that We've had some team members that have taken advantage of this, particularly during the pandemic, and it was incredibly helpful for them. And I think offering these type of mental health services, not only for people that are currently in the conflict zone, but for the people that have just left that conflict zone, sometimes being able to work with a professional is going to really reduce damage long-term from a PTSD perspective. Again, I'm not a professional, nor do I play one on the internet, but something that I think is probably going to be valuable to a lot of people and doesn't necessarily cost you that much money. If you have any other ideas on how to support people in this particular conflict, put it down in the comments below. We really want to be able to get together a bigger document, not only for ourselves, but also the larger Running Remote community, to be able to put that all together. And I hope that this conflict can end as quickly as humanly possible. My grandfather's actually Ukrainian. I'm about 25% Ukrainian. And it really has been something that I've been watching over the last couple days, just in utter disbelief. So hopefully we can all get back to a peaceful way of coexisting. And other than that, hopefully I'll see you in the next video.